Beyond crowded highways lie roads stretching across deserts, tundra, mountains, and frozen wilderness, revealing Earth's quietest frontiers where nature, isolation, and human determination intersect in unforgettable journeys. The Eyre Highway traverses the limestone Nullarbor Plain, uplifted from an ancient seabed over millions of years. Its semi-arid climate brings scorching summers, limited rainfall, and powerful winds. Sparse shrublands support kangaroos, wombats, dingoes, and wedge-tailed eagles. Long stretches without towns emphasize Australia's immense scale, while the world's longest straight road section has become an iconic symbol of remote overland adventure. Stretching across Yukon and the Northwest Territories, the Dempster Highway follows landscapes shaped by glacial erosion and permafrost. The subarctic climate delivers long winters and brief summers bursting with wildflowers. Caribou, musk oxen, and Arctic foxes roam nearby. Indigenous communities have traveled these lands for centuries, while the highway offers rare road access beyond the Arctic Circle. Running through northern Patagonia, this highway crosses terrain sculpted by glacier, volcanic activity, and tectonic uplift from the Andes. Heavy rainfall nourishes temperate rainforests filled with ancient trees and unique wildlife. Towering peaks, turquoise rivers, and deep fjords dominate the landscape. Small settlements rely on this remarkable route, which transformed accessibility across southern Chile's isolated wilderness. The Dalton Highway stretches through Alaska's Brooks Range and vast Arctic tundra. Mountains rose through tectonic collision, while glacier carved valleys and rivers. Extreme cold shapes permafrost, requiring constant maintenance. Grizzly bears, moose, wolves, and migrating birds inhabit the region. Built alongside the Trans-Alaska Pipeline, the road remains one of America's most remote transportation corridors. Ruta 40 extends beside the Andes, a mountain chain formed by the Nazca Plate subducting beneath South America. Travelers encounter dry steppes, volcanic fields, alpine lakes, and icy glacier. Guanacos, condors, and pumas inhabit these varied ecosystems. The highway connects traditional ranching communities and preserves a deep cultural relationship between people and Patagonia's expansive wilderness. The Skeleton Coast lies where the Namib Desert meets the cold Atlantic Ocean. Coastal fog generated by the Benguela Current sustains surprising life despite minimal rainfall. Ancient dunes formed through wind-driven erosion dominate the landscape. Desert-adapted elephants, seals, and hardy plants survive harsh conditions. Shipwrecks scattered along the coastline reinforce its legendary reputation for isolation and danger. Unlike paved highways, Mongolia's remote routes weave across rolling steppes shaped by ancient tectonic forces and erosion. The continental climate brings freezing winters and warm summers. Grasslands support wild horses, gazelles, wolves, and golden eagles. Nomadic herders continue centuries-old traditions, relying on these informal routes that change naturally with seasons, weather, and grazing conditions. Iceland straddles the mid-Atlantic ridge, where separating tectonic plates fuel volcanic eruptions and geothermal activity. Highland roads cross black lava fields, glacial rivers, and colorful rhyolite mountains. The subpolar climate changes rapidly, often bringing snow even in summer. Mosses, hardy birds, and resilient vegetation survive harsh conditions, while travelers witness one of Earth's youngest evolving landscapes. The Kolyma Highway spans permafrost, taiga forests, and mountain ranges created through ancient tectonic processes. Winters regularly plunge below -50°C, while summers remain brief. Brown bears, lynx, and moose inhabit surrounding forests. Constructed during the Soviet era under brutal conditions, the route carries significant historical weight alongside its spectacular yet unforgiving natural scenery. Sani Pass ascends the Drakensberg Mountains, uplifted through ancient tectonic events and shaped by erosion over millions of years. Cool alpine conditions contrast sharply with surrounding lowlands. Grasslands support endemic plants, antelope, and soaring birds of prey. The route provides an important connection between South Africa and Lesotho while attracting adventurous travelers seeking unforgettable mountain landscapes. Crossing the Himalayas, this seasonal highway traverses mountains created by the collision of the Indian and Eurasian tectonic plates. Thin air, glacier, and dramatic valleys define the environment. Snow leopards, ibex, and Himalayan marmots inhabit nearby ecosystems. Buddhist monasteries and remote villages reflect centuries of cultural adaptation to one of the world's highest road networks. The E69 crosses Arctic plateaus shaped by glacier during repeated ice ages. Cold maritime conditions moderate temperatures compared with similar latitudes elsewhere. Reindeer roam tundra vegetation alongside seabirds nesting on dramatic coastal cliffs. Sami communities have herded reindeer across these landscapes for generations. Seasonal daylight extremes create extraordinary experiences unlike almost anywhere else on Earth. The world's largest salt flat formed after prehistoric lakes evaporated on the Andean Altiplano. Surrounding roads cross volcanic terrain, geothermal fields, and high-altitude deserts. Flamingos gather in mineral-rich lagoons despite harsh conditions. Thin air and intense sunlight define the climate. Indigenous communities continue traditional salt harvesting while welcoming adventurous travelers exploring this surreal environment. Mangystau occupies terrain once submerged beneath prehistoric oceans, leaving dramatic limestone cliffs and canyons exposed by erosion. The arid continental climate supports hardy shrubs, reptiles, and desert mammals. Fossils remain embedded throughout the region, reflecting its marine past. Sparse settlements and endless horizons create one of Central Asia's least explored road journeys. Temporary ice roads are established across floating ice shelves and compacted snow during the austral summer. Antarctica's ice sheet formed over millions of years as snowfall accumulated into glacier kilometers thick. Temperatures remain among Earth's lowest, supporting only specialized microorganisms, penguins, seals, and seabirds. These routes exist solely to sustain scientific research in extraordinary isolation. Wilpatu National Park features dry zone forests, natural lakes called villas, and sandy terrain shaped by long-term weathering and seasonal water cycles. A tropical monsoon climate supports leopards, elephants, sloth bears, and hundreds of bird species. Ancient civilizations once flourished nearby, leaving reservoirs and archaeological remains that connect wildlife conservation with Sri Lanka's remarkable cultural heritage. From frozen frontiers to endless deserts, these extraordinary roads remind us that Earth's greatest adventures often begin where civilization quietly fades into the horizon.